Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
Your evening commute might be slower than usual around the valley. Roads are still very slick, and authorities have been responding to several accidents in the FM area throughout the day. So let's find out when the rain is moving out and what else is in store for this evening. Here's Hutch with your No Wait weather planner. Hutch?
Today's freezing rain, freezing drizzle and snowflakes focusing on the valley. There's a look around Highway 2. Well, not invisible. There's some breaks in the clouds, as a matter of fact, in Lakes Country. Hallstatt along Highway 200. Many area roads are doing okay, but once you get on sidewalks or side streets, things are cold enough with any snow left on the ground that, well, we have very slippery conditions. Here's a look at the latest on the radar. We do have passing bands of showers. We have snow over Lakes Country showing up where you see the pinks. That's mixed precipitation. Good old-fashioned rain. Jamestown to Bismarck, his temperatures there are much, much warmer. Central Polk County in and around the north of Crookston into Pennington and Red Lake County seeing some freezing drizzle, as is the FM area and points west with temperatures approaching 40 degrees. All of this warm air to the west is punching in our general direction as we have enjoyed warmer temperatures, but with growing pains and slippery conditions. Temperatures tonight generally steady to slowly rising in Fargo and steady with a flake or two in Grand Forks. Some may see upwards of a ½ inch to an inch of snow. Jody sent in this. She's dug out that gas meter. That's a good point. Take a look at this. Don't forget this part. That is the important part, the regulator and the vent there. I put an arrow on there. Make sure you clean that out so you don't have any problems. As you're doing a lot of cleanup, the cleanup continues. I'll have details for your back to work and back to school Thursday forecast here in a minute.
That's right. That's coming up, isn't it?
It is.
All right. Thanks, Hutch. And make sure you have the Valley News Live Storm Team weather app so that you can keep up with the weather anytime, anywhere. You'll get the latest forecasts and conditions so that you can plan your day. All you have to do is search VNL Weather in the App Store and download it for free. A man is now in jail after a New Year's Eve stabbing in South Moorhead. Police say 44-year-old Ortis Alderman is accused of cutting another man in the arm. It happened last night in the 1900 block of 20th Street South. The 30-year-old victim was treated for a puncture wound that officers say is not serious. They say he and the suspect know each other. A Fargo rideshare driver is now in jail after reportedly being drunk behind the wheel on New Year's Eve. Officials say 45-year-old Mark Kella was booked into the Cass County Jail on a charge of driving under the influence, according to the North Dakota Highway Patrol. Troopers said the passenger chose to do the right thing and was given a safe ride home by law enforcement. One man is facing a DWI charge after losing control of his vehicle and hitting a power pole in Mentor, Minnesota. Polk County authorities say it happened just after 1:30 this morning at County Road 113 and Highway 2. The 36-year-old male driver was treated and released from a Crookston hospital and then arrested for a suspected DWI. He was the only one in the vehicle.
There was a possibility in my car. She wasn't 100% sure.
What? Someone broke into a Fargo woman's garage a few days before Christmas, stealing her car and presents. But as Valley News Team's Joshua Pagero found out, soon after our whistleblower story aired, the woman received good news that a car she never thought she'd get back was found by one of our viewers.
Bonnie Birch has a steering wheel anti-lock in her car now. So that's what you put in there. Mm-hmm. She's not taking any chances.
I'm trying to secure it to where they can't get it. I'll steal it again.
Her car was stolen more than a week ago from the garage at her South Fargo apartment building located along 42nd Street. Along with the car, burglars took Christmas presents meant for her granddaughter.
It was hard when they stole it because I didn't have a way to get around. But now I do, and I'm glad to have it back.
A few days following our report, Birch says her daughter got a Facebook message that her car was parked outside an apartment building in West Fargo. The details are still mum on how Birch's car ended up there.
I was excited, scared, because I didn't know the condition that it was in. And I was in a hurry to get there to see.
Ms. Birch tells us it was the West Fargo Police Department that recovered her vehicle, and she's thankful for officers, as well as the Fargo Police Department, for taking some of the evidence that was inside her vehicle. The car did not have any damages besides the front license plate being taken off, and she says the gas was at how she left it. The manager of her apartment building told her between 8 to 9 garages were burglarized.
I want to thank the person that found it or suspected that it was mine.
Although Birch got her car back, she still wants the perpetrators to be punished for the theft. In Fargo, Joshua Piguero, Valley News Live.
Bonnie Birch says she's changing the locks and the ignition in case the burglars return to steal her vehicle again. If you need help with an issue in your community, call our whistleblower hotline, 237-6576. You can leave your tip, and then a member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth. The search continues for a 35-year-old man in Bemidji. Matthew Asa hasn't been seen since Christmas Eve at a Bemidji apartment building. He was last seen wearing a camo army jacket, shoes, and possibly sweatpants. Call Bemidji Police or your local law enforcement if you have any information on him. Militiamen backed by Iran have left the U.S. Embassy compound in Baghdad after 2 days of protests and clashes with American security forces. Beefed up U.S. and Iraqi troops are now protecting the embassy, but protesters have already damaged its outer perimeter. NBC's Ali Arouzi reports from London.
Well, it seems like the protests have finally wound down after almost 2 full days of violent demonstrations. Now, according to a statement from the Joint Operational Command in Iraq, the Iraqi Prime Minister Adel Abdul Mahdi, based on his commitments to protect diplomatic missions, ordered Iraqi government forces to protect the embassy and its employees. He's called on an angry mob to stop protesting and end their sit-in, and has told protesters that their message was received. Now, apparently all members of the paramilitary groups and their supporters have withdrawn from the perimeter of the U.S. Embassy. They've dismantled their tents, and Iraqi security forces have completely secured the embassy perimeter. Due to the attacks, all public consular operations at the U.S. Embassy have been suspended till further notice. However this pans out, in the short term, it has illustrated the difficult and fragile nature of the U.S. relationship with Iraq. The question is whether this relationship is tenable, and if so, for how long. Ali Arouzi, NBC News, London.
In addition to the U.S. Marines who were sent from Kuwait to reinforce the compound, President Trump ordered about 750 U.S. soldiers deployed to the Middle East. About 3,000 more are preparing for possible deployment in the next several days. Plenty of restaurants in the metro opened their doors to hungry New Year's Eve partiers who went to bed late, including Granite City. Its lawless brunch was a hit, we're told, with Bloody Marys, infinite mimosas, and donut creation stations.
Maybe a slab of prime rib between a couple donuts and then some frosting and bacon over the top. It's great because they get together, they sit at the table, the kids light up when they see the donuts, and people just love to get together as a family and enjoy an experience like this.
Granite City and other eateries are encouraging you to ring in the new year with a new tradition of Sunday brunch. And some people might dive under the covers for rest and relaxation on New Year's Day. Others, well, they dive into frigid temperatures. Check out the 40th annual Polar Bear Plunge in Austin, Texas. Members of the Polar Bear Club lined up early this morning to take a dip, kick off 2020. The plunge honors the life of club founder Clark Hammond. He was a community advocate who passed away 2 years ago. With temperatures hovering around 61 degrees, club members say they got a break from typical winter weather there in Texas. Quite a bit colder if you do it around these parts. The fun continues.